Wow, what a road. I should have taken a beta blocker before I got up here. I remember like it was yesterday at Grand Lebacan singing, "I Can Show You the World" from Aladdin. All right, maybe I was a little too excited to start medical school, but even then I knew that this is where I belong. And this amazing and eclectic group of future doctors felt the same way. We've come a long way. From the beginning of med school, not even able to pronounce the most basic of medical jargon. Scleral icterus? What the heck is that? Do we have to spell that? Does spelling count? No? Thank God for pass, no pass. And you wonder why doctors have such bad handwriting. I don't know about you, but I'm nervous yet excited to go into the real world as a lowly intern. And lately I've been comparing life as a med student to life in the real world, and I've come to some startling conclusions, and I'd like to share some of those with you today. In med school, if you break up with your med school girlfriend and you show up to her TBLs in her small groups unannounced, it's considered romantic. In the real world, it's called stalking. Don't do it. In med school, if you leave your scalpel inside the laparoscopic simulator, it's okay, you can start over. In the real world, if you leave your scalpel inside of a patient, you might get sued. In med school, charting that the rectal exam reveals a normal thyroid is an honest mistake. In the real world, if you go looking for a thyroid gland in the rectum, you might get sued. We've had many great times together as a class and as individuals. I remember in first year when Red October was in full swing, and we spent more time in med ed than we did in our own houses. And I don't know, I just didn't think that those days would ever end, but we somehow emerged from the chaos, unscathed and better than ever. Or in second block, when we all wondered, what the hell is MERN? But by the 7th and final quiz, we only needed a 10% to pass. And I can tell you, I barely got that 10%. And I don't know if you guys know, but the first years now need a 70% cumulative MERN final grade to pass the class. So way to go, class of 2011 for that one. And in second year, when we started studying for boards, and we learned all this useless information and forgot even the most basic of information, like where we lived or what our own names were, and having to come up with mnemonics just to remember our friends and family's names. Or in third year, when we busted our butts to get that evaluation that we just didn't get. I don't know if I just don't know, but if there weren't that many shoulders to cry on, I don't know if I could have kept going. And in fourth year, when we finally figured it all out. Yeah, right. And we just wondered why every year of med school couldn't be like fourth year. We've been there for each other every step of the way, and I, for one, will never forget the help I've received from faculty, from staff, from friends and family, but most importantly, from my classmates, my brothers and sisters. So reflect on and revel on these years, because when we're interns making $3 an hour, working 90-hour weeks, we'll look back on these times and on these memories that we've made here together. It will be on these days that we have to remember to not sweat the small stuff and to take inventory of our lives, of our accomplishments, and of our futures. There's a story I'd like to share. I think we've heard it once in the first year, as I was told, and it goes something like this. There was a philosophy teacher waiting in front of his class, and when his class started, he produced this huge mason jar, and then he began to fill it with golf balls, and he asked the class, "Is the jar full?" The class kind of looks around each other and say, "Yeah, agree, yeah, the jar is full." Then he grabs a bag of pebbles, and he pours the pebbles in, filling in the rest of the little holes. And he asks again, "Is the jar full?" Class looks around and says, "Yeah, the jar is full." Then he grabs a box of sand and pours the sand in, effectively filling up the rest of the jar. And he asks, "Is the jar full?" The class unanimously said, "Yes, the jar is full." And finally, he produces 2 cans of beer, opens them up, pours them into the jar. Class laughs a little bit. So then he goes on to say that This jar represents your life, and the golf balls represent the big things in your life, the important things, your happiness, your health, your friends, your family. The things that if you removed everything else out of the jar, your life would still be full. Now the pebbles, they represent the other things that are important. Your car, your job, your house. And the sand, well, the sand just represents all the other stuff, the little stuff. The stuff that we tend to sweat too much about. Now, if you fill that jar up with sand first, you have no room for golf balls and pebbles in your life. The same goes for your life. If you spend your life sweating the small stuff, you have no room to enjoy the things that really matter. Pay attention to the things that are critical to your happiness. Play with your children. Take your spouse out on a date. Watch your favorite TV show. Go to the park. There will be always time to clean the house and fix the disposal. Take care of the golf balls first, the things that really matter, and the rest is just sand. Now a student raised his hand and said, well, what about the beer? Great question, he says. Says it just goes to show you that no matter how full your life is, there's always room for a couple of beers. We all came to med school for one reason, to help others. It's that simple. And as we continue our journey and start our careers in every field of medicine from A to Z, we must remember why we are here, what our calling in life is, and to hold steadfastly to these ideals. To the UC Davis School of Medicine class of 2011, I want to personally say thank you. I want to thank you for your commitment and dedication to the practice and art of medicine. Thank you for being there for each other in good times and in bad. And most importantly, thank you for showing me what true friendship and camaraderie is. Now, I want to finish with a toast. And some of you guys may have heard this toast once or twice or 100 times before. But if you guys want to raise your glasses, this is a good time to raise your glasses. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift, and that's why it's called the present. May all of your lives be filled with many more presents. Cheers, and once again, thank you to the UC Davis School of Medicine graduating class of 2011.